Repellers. This has been doing so great. I want you to dive in because it's a beautiful piece of furniture that never tarnishes. I have like 3 different pieces. In fact, every host does. So we'll have that coming up. Now, I want to talk to you. Do you have roaches? Don't answer that question. I might not come to your house. No, I'm kidding. In Florida, I think everybody has roaches. And so I remember the first time that my son's neighbors came over and was like, Mom, did we get rid of the roach? And I was so embarrassed. But they happen here. They happen because of the humidity. So I love this for you. If you have roaches, if you have ants, mice, even rats, or even those spiders. Wow, I'm so scared of spiders. This is basically an ultrasonic sound that only the pest can hear. And so it's a plug-in and the pests are gone. Do you see this? And this is the first time we have offered you a 12-pack because you wanted enough to put all over the house. It wasn't enough that we were giving you a 6-pack or an 8-pack. You needed more so you can put them all over the house. So we did that for you today. And it's at a phenomenal value. It's $39.99. It's our weekly deal drop. So on Sunday, the price goes back up to $60. And we basically, you get this home for 13 bucks. I want to bring in Lou Caputo, because he knows a thing or two about these roaches in Florida. I think they call them water bugs here, don't they?
Palmetto bugs.
Oh, what do they call them? Palmetto?
Palmetto bugs.
Okay, that sounds a little better.
Roach. Yes.
Palmetto sounds better than just roach.
Yeah, welcome to Florida. That's what we do here. You know, this is the biggest set, I believe, that we've ever sold. And
I love it.
I've been selling these for probably a couple decades at this point, the Bell+Howell Pest Repellers. I mean, it's a legacy company. They've been around for over 116 years at this point. I mean, very, very well-established old company. But what makes these unique is exactly what Deb was just saying. The fact that there are no trappings. You know, you don't have to trap anything. There's no chemicals involved. There's no toxins in any of these. You plug these into any outlet and they start working immediately. Now, what they're going to do is they're essentially little tiny speakers. They emit an ultrasonic sound wave. Now, because it is an ultrasonic sound wave that you won't hear, your kids won't hear it, your dogs and your cats won't hear it, but the rats, the mice, the ants, the roaches, and the spiders, they do hear it. And it makes them want to leave the house. When you look at this graphic, we're actually missing ants off of this one for some reason, probably because the pest repeller scared them away.
Sure.
But we're missing the ants there, but they are effective. And by the way, the reason we always say the same 5 things is that they've been independently tested by a third-party laboratory to be proven effective against repelling rats, mice, ants, roaches, and the spiders. Now, why do you need so many of these? Well, the reason is simply you need one in every single room in the house, because since they are tiny speakers that emit a sound, it's going to echo off of any solid surface that it hits. So that's going to be walls, ceilings, doors, all that. So they're not going to go from room to room, all right? So, but we give you enough to do every single room. That's why you've got a dozen of these. And that's enough to do the top floor and the bottom floor of a 2-story house, not to mention the garage, the basement, and the attic. So you can do all those spaces, Deb. And that's important that you've got that total coverage and basically have what I like to call a force field around the whole place that just makes those pests want to go away. But all you do, plug them in and they start to work. Nothing else you have to do. By the way, the only way you know they're working, Deb, is that there's a little red light on here that's going to flash this little LED. That's just to let you know that there's power going to it.
And you guys, I love this because I'm glad to know my son has a heart. He's 13 years old. And one time I had to kill a palmetto bug. Let's just call it a roach.
Yep,
and
roach.
he was like, don't kill it. Don't kill it. Just put it down the toilet. And I felt so bad. When you use these, you don't have to kill the pest.
No.
And so it drives them away. They just leave because they cannot stand the sound. And I know this may be hard for you to kind of wrap your head around this because you can't hear it, but the sound is so annoying that it drives them away. And you know, and you want that to happen, right? Because think about putting out that mouse trap. You know, think about people who live out in the farm area. There's the mouse trap right there. Lou has it.
I just happen to have one.
And that is a very icky thing to have to go and get the mouse trap in the body of the I mean, I don't like having to get rid of smushy, gushy guts, you know, after you kill it and you step on it.
Yep.
Who wants to do all this? So I want you to, and you have an interesting story because there are some pests you don't want to kill.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning about about the other methods that you could use. For instance, let's say you've got an ant problem, right? They make specific chemicals and poisons for ants. So you're gonna go out and you're gonna spend a lot of money and buy stuff for ants, okay? And that's fine. That's gonna help you with that problem for that time until it wears out, and then you've gotta put out more, and then you're gonna have to buy more when you run out. But what happens if you have roaches? You can't use the ant stuff, so now you go out, you buy the roach stuff, and you spend a lot of money on this stuff, right? And that's effective for a little while, but then it starts to wear out, and you gotta reapply, and then you gotta buy more when it runs out. Then, you got rats and mice, okay? And when you have rats and mice, then we get really medieval, okay? We got traps, we got poisons, we got all kinds of things to get rid of the rats and the mice. But the thing is that they don't die in the middle of your floor where it's convenient to find them. They're in the trap, somebody's got to empty it, they've got to rebait it, or if they use this, they eat this poison, these little green things here, it looks just like my dog's favorite chew toys, okay?
Oh, wow.
I will not have these anywhere near my pets. But they'll go in their walls, the ceilings, the floors. They die there, and then you get this horrible odor that lasts for weeks on end. With the Bell+Howell Pest Repellers, when you plug these in, they repel the pests. They get out of your house. There's nothing left there. They're gone, okay? Now, what you were talking about, why you don't want to kill some pests, German cockroaches, the most common cockroaches in the world that most people have a problem with, okay? If a female German cockroach is bearing eggs, they carry them in sacks on their legs, and it's hundreds and hundreds, thousands of them, okay? When they die, they jettison the egg sacs, and the egg sacs still open. So you still get all those cockroaches. So killing the mother does nothing for you. Wouldn't it be better to send her away and let her go have those babies somewhere else, not in your house, anywhere else, I don't care where? I mean, that's the thing.
Right.
And that's what these are going to do for you, all right? They repel the pests. Not to mention the fact that, Deb, if you think about it, this is being proactive when you plug these in.
Absolutely.
If you're having to go out there and buy sprays, this is reactive.
Absolutely, and then you're having to buy a lot of different sprays.
Yeah.
And then you're wondering if my dog, you know, if he's, and your dog probably does too, they smell something on the floor, they start licking the floor.
Yes.
I don't want them licking poison. I'm like, why is it licking the floor?
Yeah.
That scares me half to death.
Mine do
so
that.
I love this, that you're protecting your animals, you're protecting your kids, grandkids get, you know, and kids get down there and they're crawling on the floor. So you don't want to spray an area and, oh, I forgot to go behind and get that all up. This is easy. This is why everybody loves it. It's absolutely convenient. You just plug it in. It's your solution. And when the light comes on, it's basically emitting that ultrasonic sound.
Yeah, it's exactly what's going on. Well, now, people are sitting at home going like, okay, you can't see it working, except for the fact that you notice that the pests are gone, right? You can't hear it. How do I know it's actually doing anything? Okay, this guy right here. This is an ultrasonic leak detector. They use this to listen for gas leaks in gas lines because they come under so much pressure, come out in so much pressure, that it actually makes an ultrasonic sound wave. So watch this. That's a microphone, by the way, that I was just pointing at right there. So that listens for ultrasonic sound. So I can sit here all day long and talk and this, nothing's gonna happen. But if I put it right next to one of these pest repellers like this, every time that little red light flashes on the pest repeller, you're gonna see a little red ball moving inside of the detector. Do you see that? So that's how we know every time that little red ball right here, every time that little red ball moves, that means that it's hearing an ultrasonic sound. So that's proof positive right there for those of you that are the doubting Thomases and Teresas out there, that this is actually working, it's doing its job, it's filling that room with those sounds. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Lou, I live in a high-rise building. They're never gonna get to me. Listen, all the pipes in your building, all the wiring in your building is like a super highway. Those pests can go anywhere they want. And think about this. You got people that live above you. You got people that live below you on either side.
Right.
I can't control what these people are doing around me.
Right.
What I can do, though, is control my environment and set up a force field using all my pest repellers.
And you guys, it's the first time that you can put them all over your house because we give you enough.
A lot.
So here's everything that you're getting. You're gonna get 2 packages when we deliver this to you. So 6 in one, 6 in the other. So that means you can put these, if you need to put some in the attic, if you need to put some in the basement, if you need to put something in the living room, the game room, the kids' room, where is the problem? Because let me tell you, the fact that this will drive them out, we're gonna give it all 12 for $39.99. We've never done this before. So the price is gonna go back up, you guys, to $20 more on Sunday. Get it right now. In the summer, when it's getting hot, I don't know why, I feel like the problem gets worse. And the worst thing in the world is you're putting traps out So if say a rat or a mice gets trapped in between, I don't know, an attic or somewhere, and you have this horrible smell.
Yes.
I mean, it's just, this is what you want to do. No sprays. You don't have a roach spray, then ant spray and mouse traps, and then mouses getting stuck in walls. And you got this horrible odor.
Okay, so many years ago, before I was actually using the pest repellers in my house, right? We had a rat get into my garage. We think he dropped in off of a tree next to my house and went in through one of the eaves and the garage there. And he ate through my air conditioning lines.
Oh my gosh.
In the garage. So one day the air conditioner doesn't work. The guy comes out, he looks at it, he goes, "You got a rat in here someplace, right?" So we hire an exterminator. He comes out, he kills the rat. We can't find it.
Oh gosh.
The smell. The smell. Now listen to this. We knew it was dead because we could smell. We could smell it. But here's the thing. We never found it. Okay. One day we're cleaning out my garage so we can paint the floor, and I hear my wife Kelly screaming. And she found, it's not funny really, but she found the body of the rat like 3 years later.
Oh no!
And it was like what they call desiccated, no moisture at all. It was just like the fur, and it was the saddest thing. But that's what happens when you kill them, because they don't die. He ate poison. They don't die in a convenient spot. It's going to be someplace where you can't see them. That's the crazy thing. And think about the money. Like the money I saved now, I was paying a guy $100 a month to walk around my house and do what they call barrier pest protection, where they spray, you know what I mean? They just spray the exterior of the house, and they're like, okay, I'm done, and that's it, $100, right? So here's the thing. Think about this. That rat dropped off of a tree onto my house. It got over the barrier. They can also go under and come in through your foundation, up through your pipes. There's a million ways.
I mean, that's not a funny story, but the fact that your wife screamed.
Should have heard that scream.
This is a screaming good deal. We are very, very busy. These actually work, and I find they work in about a week, because that sound is going to keep reverberating when the lights come on, and you've got some for the whole house, and we've never done that before. So I say they're going to work in a week, but I say give it 30 days. If for some reason you don't like it, you can call us up. We give you your money back, because we stand behind our 30-day money-back guarantee. It's going to work for you, because they cannot stand that sound. They cannot stand it. I wish that we could hear it, right?
No,
so you know what it sounds like. But just think of something that is so obnoxious to you, where you're like, oh, I just can't stand it. I got to get out of here. That's what they do.
Think about this.
Ants.
Have you ever walked into your house and messed up the alarm code?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you've got a burglar alarm, you mess up that code, and you panic and you do it again, and finally the alarm goes off while you're standing there. For a couple of seconds, you're like, all right, I'm going to try it again. Then you're like, all right, I got to go outside. Right. And that's what this is like for them. It's a sound that they can put up with for just a little bit, but then they got to leave. And they know they're not going to come back, because they know that sound is still there. That's the big thing. If you live in a new house, a lot of people think if I live in a brand new house, I'm not going to get those things. Think about this. When they built that house, they tore up all the habitat of the bugs and of the ants and the roaches and the mice and the rats, and they look for somewhere else to live. And your house looks pretty darn good, because you got water, you got food, and you got AC. Right. They want that, or heat in the winter.
And right now, this is what happens. It's heating up. One story, I was a news reporter in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There was that spider with the, what's the spider that it has like the little violin, saddleback, what do you call that spider? It's poisonous.
Which one? The brown recluse?
Brown recluse.
Yes, those.
We had an outbreak in our duplex area, and I had to go stay in a hotel for a week. That was back in, oh my goodness, 1995. I was young, and my parents were like, you're just gonna have to call somebody. You call the exterminator people, and they're gonna come over, and they charge you so much money. And I was young back then, making not a lot of money as a news reporter. I want you to get these home. You're gonna spend $13 to get rid of brown recluse, very dangerous. Yeah. The black widow, all those spiders.
Daddy long legs.
You gotta worry about those. Those bite. You're gonna get these for the first time, the lowest price to put these all over your house, and I've experienced